Hello viewers, today I'm working on a 2008 Toyota Matrix. And the problem I'm trying to address is the airbag light remains on. I've done a quick scan before and it's giving me a code for the clock spring, and today I'm going to show you how to get that sorted. So it says B1811, and just to show you, when I try to clear the code, and read it, still gives the same code. So I've taken off the negative terminal of the battery. That's very important to prevent your airbags from deploying. This is one of those videos where I'm not going to use my camera stand because it's awkward. I can't find a place to place it and then video. So you bear with me. I would have to use one hand. So the first thing you're going to do is to remove the airbag, this center piece, and it's held by just two screws, one on this side and one on that side. Those screws are Torx screws, and you're going to need a size, this is T30 Torx wrench. So that's one, right? You loosen those. The one on the other side is also here. I've actually loosened that one here. I've loosened this one and it's fallen in. Right. So once you do that, you would need to, because those screws are held in place by, so the screw wouldn't come out all the way. The bolt is held in place by some rubber tabs. So to actually make your job easier, you may want to use a pry tool or this screwdriver in between this space between the airbag and this plastic here, so if you pry open that space, it would make the screw fall out from the hole where it goes into on the airbag. Because as it is now, right, if you just loosen the screws and try to bring out the airbag, it wouldn't come out until you do this thing I'm talking about. So airbag is off. That's the airbag on top here. And so what I was saying is, you can see the end of the bolt is still protruding, and that will prevent the airbag from coming out. So in essence, what I was trying to say is, use something and pry this place so that this screw or the bolt goes back, right? Same thing on this side. You would use something and pry here so that it goes back, then you'll be able to pull out the airbag. So next is to remove the airbag. Again, apologies, I'm having to do this with one hand. You'd pry this up, right? So same goes, pry up this one. Once you pry this up, same screwdriver, or you can actually use your hand and just pull it up, and that goes off. Same goes here, and that goes off too. So airbag is out. A good way to keep your airbag is to keep it this side up, right? If it does deploy, it doesn't injure you or something, as against having this metal side up. So that way. So next thing will be to remove this 19mm center bolt for the steering, right? I've already slackened this. So bolt is out. Next thing you would want to do is, because you need to remove the steering wheel, so you would remove this ground wire. Ground wire is out. You remove this cable from the cruise control to the clock spring. So that's the clock spring, that part that has 5 written on it. So you remove the connector, cruise connector for the cruise control. That's out. You just depress the tab and remove it. So after you've removed this ground and the cable for the cruise control, the next thing you're going to do is so you should mark, I've already done this. Let me try and see if I can zoom in. So you should mark the alignment of the steering wheel to the shaft. So the alignment of this to this. So you can see I've placed a mark. You may not see it very well. So there's a mark right here. Sorry, I've placed a mark here, and I've also made another mark here, which you may not see very well. Ideal thing would be to use a marker, right, so that it's clear. But the thing is, it may not be quite visible, but I'm seeing the mark I've made here, so that's not too much of a worry. So this will be important when you're aligning the steering wheel. So next is to pull off the steering wheel. You try to wiggle. If it doesn't come off, use a rubber mallet, tap, good, and I can tell it's off. So steering wheel comes off. Once your steering wheel is off, remove these 2 nuts or these 2 screws. So there's a 3rd screw here, which I also removed. Not sure if it holds anything, but just had to remove it as well. One thing I should state at this point is, so you would see, it's not very, the sun is not allowing me focus. Okay, so there's an aligning tab, right? You can see this triangle. There's a second triangle here, right? So that's how, when your steering wheel, and I should say that before you started this procedure, your tires should be pointing straight ahead. Your steering should be dead center, right? So at dead center, these 2 tabs should align. This triangle here and the one underneath it, right? So that tells you that's the correct position of the clock spring. And we're going to cover how to install, let's say you buy a used part, because I bought a used part. We're going to cover how to make sure it's dead center before you install. So the next thing you're going to do, once you remove these 2 screws, you just pull on this. This piece comes out. Put that aside. So you need to remove these 2 electric connectors. For this one, you just depress, pull it out. This other one seems to have okay, so let me show you here. There's a small lever underneath that if you pull it, that goes in. Okay, so once it goes in, you're able to pull out the connector. So both connectors are out. Once those 2 connectors are out, your clock spring is just held by a couple tabs. There's one here. Yeah, so that's it. So you just that's out. Same thing goes, there's another one on the other side, so I'll just remove those. which is here. So the last one is here, and you just pull that out. So that's it. So clock spring is out. So here's my replacement clock spring. As I said, I bought a used part, and that's the one I took out. So replacement, you just put in the new one, no much ceremony, push it, it clicks into place, right? Once it clicks into place, you can see here's the instructions for aligning this. So as I said, I bought this used. On this model, this part should be at the top, right? So it says so it's 5 tons, 2.5 tons to the right, 2.5 tons to the left, right? So that's what it is. So, and to verify that this is at the this is at dead center, you know, for the clock spring, I would turn. That's 1 turn, 2 turns, and then it stops somewhere there. So that's, you know, 2.5, 2 point something. So the instruction says that you should do 2.5 tons, right? So let's say this is your half. Then you do 1, 2, and then it now says you should then align the match marks. So which was what I was trying to cover on the other one. So that's the top match mark. I don't know if you can see the one in the lower one. The lower one has some paint in it, but it's here. So aligning this and aligning those 2 match marks simply tells you this is in the correct position, and every other thing you're going to do is in reverse order. So I'll just do all of that and come back to finally test and let you know how it goes, whether the airbag light goes off. So I've done everything, putting everything back together. It's just to reconnect the airbag. Push that, then pushing the yellow piece. That's locked. Same goes for the other second connector. That's in, pushing the yellow piece. Next is to put this back in. Reconnect negative terminal. So moment of truth. Airbag light is off. Great. So that's how you do it. Thank you very much. Please like if you liked this video and subscribe to the channel. Cheers.